In this video, you're going to learn a ton of information about what to do and what not to do to optimize your business website, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. You probably already know what the industry is going to be, but I do not know yet, so I have a nice little list of industries here, and we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel to see what industry we're going to get, and then we're going to pick a random location. I'm going to pop through some different websites and completely roast them in a good professional. And it looks like we're going to be doing handyman services. So we're going to be looking for a handyman website. Where are we looking for a handyman? Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go ahead to the random US city generator and we're going to search for just one, and let's rerun it. We're going to go San Jose. We're looking for a handyman in San Jose, California. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we get. Now it looks like we got a couple of Google guaranteed ones here. So these are plumbing and heating and air. So we're not going to go with them. We want someone like this, handyman services. We're going to go ahead and open up these top three and see what we've got and go through them. And then maybe we'll add a few more, but let's go through these first and see what we can improve and just real quick give them a super beneficial audit. If you are from this company and you're watching this video, hopefully this helps you. If you're not from this company or you are and you know someone from this company, send it to them and let them get some free advice and hopefully maybe get some more leads and jobs out of it. So the first one that we're on here, we've got SBA Handyman. So my first initial thoughts are several things. First thing is this color, this teal color does not associate with handyman at all for me, and even this image doesn't look super handyman to me. I almost want to see a big burly guy shaking the hand of a nice old lady that's smiling or something, that will kind of tie things in a little bit better. But I definitely think, if you're going to use this picture, that's cool, but I definitely would change this color. It's just kind of bright on the white. It's, not as appealing to the eye and doesn't stand out as much. So that's my first critique. Second thing I would do is this free quote button. It should be a button and not a hover over to become a button. It doesn't stand out as a call to action, and you want people to reach out to you for a free quote or call you. So you really want these to stand out apart from all this other stuff that's blue or teal or whatever you want to say. Now on here, it does say unlicensed contractor, free estimate, small jobs are welcome, minimum charge $100. So they do small little stuff. They do have some keywords in here, which is nice. They've got electrical, plumbing, carpentry for like the buttons. I would probably lay this out a little bit differently and use this as kind of like a title using a heading tag so that you'll get a little bit more SEO benefits out of it. And then you can kind of bullet point these things on there a little bit and then make this button like reach out to us or contact us or something that's going to call them to actually go to the action. I'm assuming these might go to another page, and if they go to another page and you're doing that kind of SEO optimized landing pages, then definitely make these like learn more or something like that. Now down here, this isn't the worst. It definitely could be laid out a little bit better, but not the worst. It looks like you're using TrustIndex.io. I think this is, I believe, right here. And then you've got some little expertise.com awards that you may have won or something like that. I will say that you do have a decent amount of SEO on here. I'm actually, as I've gone through the page, I've gotten a little bit more surprised because like things like this is kind of like a simple thing, and the colors and stuff. But as I go down, you guys do have a lot of SEO going. You're definitely trying and putting in some extra work here, which is always nice to see. You've got all your different service areas, your service cities just listed. Ideally, you'd make these pages. Obviously, you probably don't have time to do that, but that's good. You got your business hours. Overall, it's really not that bad. Now, I will say you do have a few buttons down here, like why hire us isn't actually a button. Business hours isn't actually a button. So those things could be improved. Let's check out one of these secondary pages and then a contact page, and we'll move on to the next one. Now this is kind of interesting. I definitely would lay this out in a more user-friendly way. I mean, this really isn't that bad, but you could definitely make it a little bit more engaging. But it's nice that you have your initial and final cost pricing. Obviously, it could be kind of a range, so that's nice that you have all that on there. But it's definitely a good way to display things and probably get people that are qualified for you to actually do business with. Now the About Us page could use some love. It definitely could have some more information. You got the same picture twice. It's the third time I've seen it on the website. Get some real photos of you actually doing some stuff. That can be good. But overall, it's really not that bad. This page definitely needs some love though, to really give some information about who you are and why you do what you do and how your services are going to fix their problems and that kind of thing. Just put it in that kind of perspective. But let's check your free quote and see what we've got here before we move on. You can see the load time on the free quote there. That's obviously super, super less than ideal. And honestly, there's way too many questions on here for a free quote. You just want to get them in as a lead. So you probably name, email, phone, and maybe a message here. And just kind of ask what they're looking for, because they can give you the residential or commercial. You'll know by saying, oh, our business, or oh, I need this for my apartment complex if it's commercial, or if it's residential, oh, my sink is leaking at my house, or so that's not super big deal. If anything, maybe one of these little drop downs for the kind of specific service. But there is a lot of questions on here that is probably limiting your number of conversions, which I think can be improved. Now we're jumping in and we're taking a look at this one. This one is called Maintenance Pro. I definitely like the colors here a lot better. It's a lot easier on the eyes. And overall, it's a decent look when you first land on the website. Again, as far as the menu goes, they don't really have something up here in the header. And since it's a sticky header, you obviously want that there for sure. If it wasn't a sticky header, I wouldn't say it's that important, because you have these on the first fold, but you don't have anything up here, and you scroll and you're kind of gone. You don't have that call to action kind of built in. The only thing you have is a little phone number up here, but I definitely would love to see like a free estimate button or something going on. Now this website, I definitely would say, is designed a lot better than the last one. It's got some good white space in here to kind of make it flow, easy on the eyes. Colors aren't too bad. Fonts aren't too bad. It's kind of got its own vibe to it. You got some SEO in here saying the Silicon Valley, reliable professional handyman. But I say this every single time, and every single person seems to get it wrong. And that's taking all of this content on your website and flipping it into the customer's point of view and make them the hero in the situation and just optimize for them. So you've got some different photos in here, which is good. Some different services. You've got the areas we serve, which for something like this, I would love to see you kind of zoom in on this, right? So if these are all like sub neighborhoods or sub towns of that city, then definitely use these as their own points and say that you service those with that word, because if you just do this like area, it's not going to really encompass that in the SEO aspect. Now, once we get down to the bottom here, they definitely need to work on their footer. This kind of doesn't make me want to do anything. It looks very boring, and like the gray is kind of bland, and then these buttons are just kind of, there's no real information down there. But everything else, as we're scrolling down, I really don't mind this website too much. There's obviously ways to improve, of course, but it's really not that bad. Once we go into services, we can go ahead and take a look at what we've got over here. Nice. I really like these like white blocks to break it down with the nice background. It kind of flows and it's got a bunch of information. I definitely would expand on this information a little bit more, or just, fill it out a little bit more. But overall, it's nice to see. And then let's go ahead and check out your contact us page, and we can move on to the next one. Now on the contact us page, it looks like you still had this same block here where the service button or something was. So it does look a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie to you. There's kind of like something missing. Like maybe if you can get rid of this and just have just this with the call us or something. And then, yeah, I wouldn't put the contact form down here and then the map up here and then the connect with us, because you're saying that this stuff is kind of more important. I would probably put these underneath the contact form and then maybe do some kind of trust on the side or right below it. So like reviews or something like that can help build that trust. That'll get them to actually click the contact button and submit the form. All right, and for our last one, we have Freddie Handyman. Now this is going to look like this is a guy named Freddie who's a handyman, and now to me this is going to look like it's Freddie who's a handyman and he's just looking to, get his job done, not looking to grow into a bigger business. We can go ahead and take a look through and see if we have any advice for Freddie. And Freddie, if you're watching, take this as good criticism and implement the changes. You will see some help. So once we land on this website, we have a pop-up that says, how can I help you? Welcome, we're here to help you. So you're kind of redundant there. You're saying the same thing twice. Definitely could change that. And why are we having a pop-up right away once you land on the website? You click learn more. And yeah, see, this website needs some love. So you need to set this to be like 100% like view height or something like that. So if you want it to be the entire first fold, then you could do that. But you can see there's nothing here besides your name. So yeah, this definitely could use some love there, because if I land on this website, I'm clicking right off. I don't know what's going on. You can also see that your heading tag here is just Freddie Handyman, all lowercase. Can definitely use some help. About us section, you got some different stuff. You got some reasons to hire. It's kind of, this is very This is a very amateur DIY kind of looking website to me, and it's very like you're trying, and I appreciate that. And it's nice that you even have a website, because there's a lot of businesses that don't even have a website. But I will say that this is all over the place. It's very hard to understand and navigate and know what to do next or what to look at. Like, do I look here or here or here? There's like different fonts going on and sizes. The photos are all different sizes. So, you know, take some of those things that we just looked at on those previous ones and maybe apply it to this kind of area. Now you have a subscribe, HTTPS, you got your Facebook link here, which is not even a clickable link. You just have it on there as a link, which again, you got a Google business profile, you got a website, that's good. And then you can see you have been actively posting on social media, which is good. You know, you're trying to promote your stuff, you know, you like to see that. And it looks like you are getting a fairly good amount of jobs, so that's awesome. Now we just need to capitalize on that, optimize the website, and then we can increase that organic reach even more. Now you got a nice little map here, it shows your location. You got all this kind of stuff. You got Freddy Pro at freddyhandyman.com. Probably want to change that to just like contact at freddyhandyman.com, since you have Freddy and Handyman in the name. You know, you're kind of, again, getting kind of a little bit redundant there. And then we love our customers, blah, blah, blah. That's good. We're here to help you accomplish your goals. I'm assuming that this is a button to contact you. So that needs to say something like contact us, get a free quote, get an estimate, something like that. And like I said, you make these changes and you kind of optimize this website, get a header up here, actually have some buttons going on, because there's nothing going on up there, just Freddy Handyman. And yeah, you'll start to see more organic come through your website, because right now I'm not really seeing much of anything for me to do on this website that's going to make me take action, or two, just any way to even take action. Like, if I'm a normal person, I'm not going to know this is a button to bring up the contact form. So just a bunch of changes that I would make. But let's go ahead and take a look at one bonus one. I'm just going to pick a random one off this list. I'm going to go to the more businesses. I'm going to scroll with my eyes closed until we find a spot. Wherever I land, I'm going to land right there. Oh, it's the same one that I was on. Okay, Precision Handyman of the Bay Area. Let's go ahead and take a gander. Wow, there is a lot going on here. That's all. That's how I'm going to start it off. Okay, logo, decent logo. This blue is a little bit harsh, but, you know, not going to hate on the blue as much as everything else. Call button, hover is not really good at all. You need to kind of fix that. That's like hard to read, and it just overall doesn't make me want to click on it. Your book and appointment buttons kind of off on the alignment. You know, that could be a simple fix. You got some different services. Overall, you've got some different stuff going on. Cool. And then it looks like you kind of went a little SEO crazy, like adding all this stuff and all this stuff. Like, it's almost like your website is specifically only built as an SEO funnel for other businesses, which to me isn't that great. And then you can see you've got all these little buttons that are, I think they got a little bit too much negative margin going on, or I don't know, they're kind of pushed up over the top of that, which makes them hard to read and hard to see. And it doesn't even look like they are linking to a specific thing. Okay, yes, they are. We'll take a look at those pages in a second. But when we get to here, this is all the words are off. This is off. There's just a random book and appointment button. This is obviously over each other. So it obviously doesn't look good. And I understand you're like trying to SEO optimize and add a bunch of SEO keywords and locations and stuff, which is good, but you want to make sure that the basics are built out first and that it's user friendly for the customer, because Google's going to look at that 9 times out of 10 more important than if you have a bunch of keywords on there. So kind of a misunderstanding by most people, but it is what it is. Keep scrolling down. We got all services, you know, assembly, changing a doorknob, just different stuff kind of going on. This is a good way to do it with the accordion. The only problem is this kind of words probably will not get captured in the full SEO, because it's going to pull based off of what's on the actual page. So it'll obviously get crawled eventually, but it's still not as ideal for SEO. As we go down, I really like these little bullet points. You know, this is good, having a bunch of bullet points and some nice pictures. Book an appointment button, again, just does not draw my attention to actually click it. If anything, it looks out of place. This area looks good. I like these little dotted lines. The residential services, commercial, you know, it breaks it up, looks a little different. One of my favorite things ever to have on a website for a home service business is a slider like this. It makes it engaging. Look, I'm sitting here clicking, playing with it while I'm talking right now. Like, this is amazing. And especially if you can take the pictures from the same angle. You've got your before and after pictures. Just look at that. Like, you're selling the dream to people of this is what your life looks like now. This is what it can look like. And it gives a more interactive perspective. So huge. And I love that they have that. So overall, that part's pretty good. This little tell me more button is pretty much useless. It should be an actual button that you can see and, you know, brings you to somewhere that's important. Again, we got some nice check boxes. This area looks okay. I probably would change this font and kind of, I think it's that blue color too. It's kind of throwing me off. But down here, you've got your FAQ section. So always good to have an FAQ section for answering the questions that people are asking on Google for SEO, and also just for the aspect of people are going to ask those questions. You might as well have them already pre-answered and help overcome the objection. So if somebody's asking like, how much does a handyman cost per hour? They might be wondering, you know, hey, how much do they cost? Oh, that's a little bit too expensive. So you want to kind of have this worded in a way that's like, why paying, like how much does a handyman charge in the Bay Area or whatever per hour? And then in this section, you would want to talk about it in the aspect of like, handyman can range from this to this, but you don't want to pay for the cheapest because the cheapest doesn't mean the best. And you just kind of like reinforce what they already know, that they shouldn't go with the cheapest option. They should go with the most skilled or whatever it's going to be. And then down here, we've got another Google map, which as you can see is also the area, but I think there's a lot of different areas as you zoom out that you could totally incorporate in here to make it build out a little bit better. But you know, at least you have a map on here. This book an appointment form here is not really doing it for me at all. It's kind of a mess. It's hard to read, hard to see. So that's not ideal. You do have all these down here, but they're not clickable links. So those should all have their own landing pages or sub-page location pages to actually get the SEO benefits. But let's just take a look at these services really, really quickly. And then we will jump to the contact us and get you out of here. So this is a decent service page. Honestly, it's got some information, a wall of text that people probably won't read, but you do have a book an appointment over here, which is cool. Your different services, which I think are laid out nicely with pictures, and they link to the other service pages. So you're getting that internal linking for SEO, tons of keywords, and then through here is basically just a blog post. And honestly, people are probably not going to read that. And then again, this is the same kind of footer area. So, you know, it's honestly not the worst, definitely not the best. Oh boy, this contact page needs some love. Yeah, the forms throughout this website definitely need some help just to kind of get the people into the flow and to give them some trust and, you know, make them actually excited to contact you. Maybe like not the submit button all the way to the right over here, you know, kind of tucked away, maybe full length, and maybe make it say get instant pricing or get your quote or whatever, just something that's going to make them excited to actually click that button and submit it. Hopefully you guys got some information from this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you're one of these businesses and you want some help, some consulting or some help making a new website, logos, any of that stuff, definitely reach out to us at Service Genius and we'll be happy to help. If you do know somebody from one of these businesses or you are from one of these businesses, definitely go ahead and send them a video so they can get a little bit of advice and some things that they could change and improve on.